Hey guys, I'm now Michela Mahango. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time, you are welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. Welcome back. I know I haven't been around for some time, and we'll probably talk about that in another video, but I'm so glad you are here. So for today, I want to bring up something that I truly love. And if you are returning, you probably know this already that I love to have conversation. So I wanted to make this video because a few weeks ago, my husband and I just clocked two years in marriage, and I am so happy. It's been such a beautiful journey full of laughter, love, growth, pain, love, a lot of things. So one of the things that has really helped us and been a part of our journey is having conversations. And that's why we call this video Conversation Starters. So I'll be sharing a few conversation starters that I think are really, really important. But let me set the scene first. So I want you to think about having this conversation on a Sunday afternoon. Let's say it's 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. and it's very chilled, or maybe you have some chilled music around, you're sitting by the lawn with your partner, you have some snacks, and you're about to have this conversation. And I say this because it's really important to be intentional about it. So yeah, that's the scene I would like you to think about. We're going to go right into the pointers for the conversation starters. So I have 5 to share with you guys, and I hope these really help you and you can try and have even these conversations with your partner. So the first one that I think is really good is, what have I done for you or said to you this week that has made you feel special? One thing to note is, even as you are asking this question, you are not thinking of or giving examples of, so the day I said this, you didn't feel good, just in case they say maybe nothing, for example. You have to be really open to the answers that they're going to give. And that's why you're asking a really open question and you're waiting to hear what they have to say, because how you see things, your perspective may be totally different from your partner. So if your partner says nothing, then the conversation goes from there. Also, how did you feel when I did this, or I say this? Oh, okay, so this does not, you don't feel a certain way, or maybe I thought you'd feel extremely loved with that and you didn't feel that way. It's okay if your partner says otherwise, and have the conversation from there. So I think, don't think too much about it. Don't have answers already for your partner. Just ask the question and wait for what they're going to say. The second question is, have you seen any positive or negative change in my attitude or anything? So I put attitude just as an example, but you and your partner know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So it could be, have you seen any positive or negative change in my temper or in my whatever bad habit, anything. So that's for you to decide. And I think it's important to ask this question because sometimes we are blind to the progress we've made, or how we've probably become worse, So I think it's important for you to ask this question and wait and see what they say. The third question is, have your goals changed for the year? And if yes, why, or how did that happen? I love to ask this question because my partner is my accountability partner. So it's important for me to know where he's at. Maybe the main goals are still the same, but maybe the steps have changed. Maybe just a few things may have changed because maybe he had a moment of enlightenment, or whatever happened. We are continuously growing or continuously changing, and personalities at the same time are dynamic. So much can happen, and because of that, I find it really important to ask my partner if that has happened, if there's any change, and I would also tell him if there's any change. So the last 2 questions are my favorite questions. And you're going to know why. So the fourth question is, what has been the hardest thing for you to deal with emotionally or physically in the last 1 year? I love this question because it helps people who don't find it so easy to just open up. I think that, I'll give an example of myself. Earlier, when I was dating, even when I was dating other people, or when we started our relationship with my husband, I was not the most open. There were certain things that I would just reserve because I would feel like if I share this, it would be such a burden to him, and I didn't want him to feel like, oh, this is too much for me to handle, and maybe I also didn't know how to just share it. But if he asks me, or when he asks me and says, what's the hardest thing you've had to deal with emotionally or physically, I mean, that just makes me feel like he's concerned, he loves me, he cares for me, and he wants to know. Therefore, it's not a burden. It's easier for me to share a lot with that being asked, So this is why I think this is a really important question for me. The fifth question is, are you happy with where you are in life? This could be spiritually, emotionally, physically, even financially. It's really important to find out, because sometimes we're just going through the year, just going through the motions, and the waves and the storms come, and we are up and we're down, and we don't know where the other person is at. So don't just assume that someone is happy just because they're smiling, or whatever your assumption may be. I think it's important for you to ask and then wait for what they have to say, and then have follow-up questions after that. Trust me, magic happens when you are able to have conversations. Beautiful things happen. The growth that happens in your relationship is amazing. And this is why I think across all types of relationships, it's really important to have such conversations, It could be with your sibling, it could be with a friend, it could be with a parent, your partner, whoever you want to have conversations with. I think it's important for you to start from somewhere in order for you to grow your relationships and your friendships. So that's what I had to share with you guys. There's more we could talk about, or more pointers that I could give when it comes to conversation starters. If you would like more, please let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have such a great week. See you in the next